Welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh. If this is your first time seeing or hearing about me, I am the operator for Clavicular, as well as a couple of other clients across different industries. In this video, we're going to be talking about the biggest thing that keeps all my prospects poor and the number one solution that I recommend to fix this bottleneck and scale them from where they are to where they want to get to. If you don't want to work with me or my team to help implement these done-for-you systems into your business, or even implement a sales funnel, or point you in the right direction with consulting, you can book a time on my calendar with the first link in the description below. Now, without further ado, let's just dive right in. So a little bit about me first is I've been running my agency for a little over a year and a half to this very point, where we partner with creators, coaches, consultants, influencers, agency owners, some SaaS companies, and find the bottlenecks in their business, implement changes to fix those bottlenecks, and scale them from their current revenue plateau to where they want to go. I also have a mentorship called The Grid, where we teach our students how to enter people's businesses as a Trojan horse by building funnels and high converting landing pages to build people's trust and then upsell them to a done-for-you operating service. And I made the decision back in 2025 to drop out of college and pursue this business full time. Now, a little bit of context about me is back in December 2024, I started my first agency and I had no results or clients after grinding for months. It was called Boost Blink at the time. And then someone reached out to me in February of 2025 who built and sold funnels for some of the largest and most influential clients in today's current info market. And we partnered together and we invented funnel operating. And funnel operating is where we sell one product or service relying on conversions, which is an extreme pain point that a lot of clients are looking for. And then from there, if those clients are qualified, we become a Trojan horse in their business and upsell them to a done-for-you model to remove the client away from the equation and make them more money in the process. And this is exactly what happened with our client Clavicular. He was a referral for a funnel. He and his old team liked the funnel we built for him so much that we cross-sold him into a second funnel for his female program, and then upsold him as well to a 5K website for one of his second endeavors. And that was all before pitching a 10K consulting fee set up to consult and fix all of his operations in his business, and then eventually hop onto his team as a full stack and full-time operating agency. A lot of these prospects we're considering working with, a lot of them are very greedy, but being greedy is actually keeping you poor. And I'll explain that in just 1 second. Now, there's 9 bottlenecks involved with this problem of being greedy, and every coach and instructor who can't scale is stuck on at least one of these. They're unaware of these bottlenecks because they're stuck doing everything and don't have the tracking to point out these bottlenecks or the systems to automate everything and remove themselves from the equation of scaling. The first category in these bottlenecks is demand, and the definition of demand refers to the quantity of a good or service that consumers are willing and able to purchase at various prices over a given time period. Now, the key word here is able, because desire alone doesn't constitute demand. Someone might want a Ferrari, but if they can't pay for it, that's not economic demand. And here's how this translates. The number of people or intent of people seeing your product or service is so minimal that sales remain at a lower than ideal benchmark. Currently, you're not getting enough leads. There's not enough traffic ever even coming through the pipeline to sell a transformation to. The organic content is not set in stone, or you have a lack of organic content in the first place, or a foundation of that to scale from. And you have low trust. You have low trust with your target ICP that you are selling to. Category number 2 is conversions. The definition of conversion in this context refers to the process of going from a lead at any status to purchasing the product or service from you within your sales funnel. And how this translates is this is the process of turning and keeping a lead into or as a paying customer, and that it's so bad that sales remain at a lower than ideal benchmark, with high chargebacks being very likely. Now, you can't convert the traffic. Leads who come into the pipeline, they see you, but they choose not to buy from you. You have bad or no lead nurture. The process of retaining leads as happy or high paying customers is non-existent or simply not performing, and you have a bad sales process or an unoptimized funnel. The first impression your leads have of you doesn't do its job in the first place of directing the journey the leads take from seeing to buying. Now, category 3 is the infrastructure. Now, infrastructure refers to the foundational systems, structures, and resources that support the operation of an organization or an economy. It's the underlying framework that everything else runs on, and you rarely notice it when it's working, but everything breaks when it's not. And here's how this translates. Without proper infrastructure, everything collapses when lead flow is large. Fulfillment is underwhelming, KPIs and metrics are not being tracked to improve performance and efficiency, and everything is done manually, leading to a lack of time by the service owner, being you. And you have no infrastructure to handle the capacity. The systems collapse because of a lack of capacity to handle the lead flow, and you have bad or no team management. The sales team has no direction, poor direction, and a lack of feedback on growth and their performance. And this is a huge problem. You're literally flying blind if you're running like this right now. Here's why coaches and instructors can't even diagnose their own bottleneck. They're doing everything themselves. They have no leverage and they have no sense of perspectives into the business. There's no tracking in place to point to where the money is being lost. There's no systems to automate and remove themselves from the operations. And the bandwidth is so low that you can't even step back and see the problem in the first place. And this is the trap. The bottleneck and the cause of not being able to see the bottleneck are the same thing if you don't have the team or the systems in place. place. And this is what doing it yourself actually costs you. First of all, you're spending more time learning systems, which you can simply outsource. You're spending more time managing data that can be automated. You're spending more time managing teams without proper infrastructure. And all of this is happening on an already low bandwidth, which makes you even more stuck, and it becomes a compounding trap. And the result of this compounding trap is diminishing returns. You're more invested in the business while you get less in return, less time, and less scale, which leads to less freedom on your part. Think about this like math class. We have the inputs and we have the outputs. What you're inputting right now is more time and more effort, and all you're getting right now on the outputs is less money and less freedom, which I'm sure are things that we don't want. Now, here's the solution to this. My solution is a proposed equity business partner focused on saving you time and making you more money. This is what's happening with Clav. We have me and two of my other business partners on Clav's offer to ensure that Clav, all he has to do is step back away from the operations and the day-to-day fulfillment and just do what he needs to do to bring in more leads and make him and the business more money in the process. So we take over everything, which saves him more time and makes him more money. So when you have a GO, a growth operator, or an equity partner, what's the point of these people? The point is to outsource. They take care of everything in the business that the coach shouldn't be doing to maximize time and money. And they are the builder of the backbone of the business and what relies on that. They build and manage the systems, the automations, and the tracking through a delegating responsibility to them. It removes you, the coach, from the operator role so you can focus on solely coaching or the more important things in the business, not the day-to-day operations. And it adds leverage in the business. It creates the leverage needed to actually scale and not just grind harder. Now, here are some of the things that an operator and equity partner might do for you. They might do the systems, the operations, the tracking, and managing, training, and sourcing all of the teams. And here's a problem that a GO or an operator or even an equity partner, whatever you want to call it, solves in the first place. This is every bottleneck mapped to a specific solution. The lead problem, they build the current ecosystem and the lead gen infrastructure. For the conversion, they optimize the funnel, the nurturing sequence, and the sales process. For the lack of trust, they build the content systems that do the trust building on autopilot. For the lack of tracking, they set up dashboards so every bottleneck is visible. For the bad capacity, they build the infrastructure so growth doesn't break the business. And for the bad team management, they manage, hire, train, and source all these reps and take them from okay to A players. I'm going to map out some numbers for you, and I'm going to show you why hiring an equity partner in live time actually makes sense and it is not costing you money. Because this is where a lot of people fuck up and they think that they should be greedy by keeping more margins, but this is absolutely not the case. The math is simple. Would you rather own more of less or a little less of a lot more? Think about that. I'm going to read that one more time. Would you rather own more of less or a little less of a lot more? Because as I said, right now you're probably so focused on margins, right? You want 85 to 100% of your business. But if you have 85 to 100% of 10K to 50K per month and you're doing everything solo and your bandwidth is maxed, you are stuck in place and there's a reason why you're not able to scale. But if you're willing to keep only 65 to 70% margins and you were doing 100K per month plus because you were able to outsource everything to a trained professional, you have more time, you have less stress, you have more money, and you win back your freedom, which is why you built this business for in the first place. 65% of 100K is 65K. That is more than 100% of 50K with less time invested and a system that scales without you. Before you have this person, you are the operator, you are the marketer, you are the closer, and you are the manager. You have no tracking in place and decisions are made on a hunch that you think is right, but you don't even know is right because you have no tracking and because you're so invested in day-to-day operations. And the ceiling is your own bandwidth. Now, after this person who is a trained professional comes into your business, all you're doing is coaching because everything else is being handled. You have full tracking in place and every bottleneck is visible and fixable to you, and the revenue ceiling is no longer up to your bandwidth, but it is up to the market alone. The market alone should determine if your business hits a plateau. It should not be your own bandwidth. And this is everything that we've discussed. Now you understand the biggest bottlenecks that prevent scale and how to prevent them yourself by allowing a trusted equity partner into your business to save time, make more money, and win back the freedom that you built this business for. I'd like you to subscribe to this channel, follow along on the journey, and watch me document building and scaling not only my own business, but my clients' businesses as well. Head over to Instagram at Josh S. Klein and go ahead and follow me for more value. And please drop a comment below. I hope you found a lot of value in this video. Let me know what you learned and what you want to see next. And if you want me to build all of these systems done for you, whether you need the full done for you setup with or without continuous work, consulting to point you and your business in the right direction, or even a sales funnel, book a call. You can work with me one-on-one. It's the first link in the description below. Again, thank you for spending your precious time watching this video. I hope you found a lot of value in this, and let me know below what you want to see next. I'll see you in the next video.